All right, Larry, hope everyone is settled in for a great Draft Champions contest here. Lucky to witness it. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. These guys that you see on your screen, they won't be witnessing. They will be participating in what should be an excellent game. Let's get down to the field. It's time for kick. And it's the birth of a new club as we're underway in Draft Champions. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Crabtree with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here's Carr to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Now Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Now the Chiefs bring on their field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Oh, this ball hangs out to the right. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not getting too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. A couple of cheats there to bring him down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in a run game. No gain.
Clock running under a minute to go in a scoreless first quarter.
Strength throwing the football downfield has never been an issue for this big guy. I still remember the first time I met him. He was playing for USC, and when I got introduced to him, I thought I was meeting their starting tight end, not their starting quarterback.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mark Barron coming in from that outside linebacker spot. He gets him down for a loss of 5. On second down, Palmer. And a dump off to White. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back now with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Austin football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Palmer. Throw left side, completion to Rice. He got 29 yards that time.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving...
Let's go. Deep.
From the gun, it's Palmer. And that is incomplete here. James White, the man he was looking for out of the backfield. And now it's 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Let's go.
Throwing again here, Palmer. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Jerry Rice, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. Play action. Now Palmer. And that's incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. And that brings up 4th down. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the left hash. Should be a fairly easy one here. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And it's 3-0 here in the 2nd quarter. So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these two offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0 forever, were we? I'm not sure that this opens the floodgates, but I doubt that's the last scoring we're going to see.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Drops it off for Coleman. They'll give him a yard on the play, and just like that, it's third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Here we go on 4th down with Carr. And he's got his man. It's the tight end play. It'll be a gain of 9, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Carr now on 1st down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence. His
throw incomplete. Kendall Wright, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. Game clock setting at 2:02, so they'll get one play before the 2-minute warning. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. Now Carr on the screen. This is Coleman. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
Every time I see a hitch pattern dropped, I go back to the combine because there's a drill that they use all the time that's called the gauntlet drill, where a receiver catches the ball and just works his way straight down the line and catches it from different sides. And the problem with that drill is that you don't actually have to secure the catch. You just kind of catch it, drop it immediately, and keep moving. And sometimes that shows up on plays like this.
A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Tevin Coleman, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. So he missed his lone field goal try, but he's got this one as that extends their lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when...
Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Get ready.
Now Palmer to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. And now look at him go. And all the way in for the touchdown. Jerry Rice, 84 yards. And his guys are going to retake the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, It's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And Dwayne Allen on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end. And it's 2nd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And he fires one, but incomplete. Charles Clay is tight end, the intended target, and it brings up 4th down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Get ready. Sally 19.
2nd and 10. It's Palmer again. Surveying the field. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Here's Coleman on the toss. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Palmer will throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out and check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Here's Palmer to throw. And Davis with it left side. A gain of 8 and a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Palmer's hit, fumble. He loses the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That one good for 12 yards. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 3rd down, Palmer. He's got time. Tries for Rice, intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
And a sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. It's a gain of 5, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here we go on 4th down with Carr. Over the middle and caught by the tight end play. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And they're going to speed things up here.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that fourth down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
Drops it off for Coleman. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They'll come out in the pistol. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. It's caught. Lockett. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here's the former 7th-round pick, Rashad Jennings. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It goes as a gain of 8 and moves the chains.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Into the red zone. It's Carr. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. That's caught at the 3. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it second and goal.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position. It's actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. And now they're in the hurry-up. Carr going to throw. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. And now it's 4th down.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Hitting the home stretch here in a great game, a tie game. Let's see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back.
All right now, Blue 58. Blue 58.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And the offense can string something together, but they'll need to do it quickly here to try to get points on the board and win this game.
Let's go, let's go. Blue 58.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11. And quickly, they get to the line. Now Palmer. Throw left side, completion to Rice. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Get ready. Blue 95.
Now it's Palmer. Jerry Rice, open right side. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Sally 19. Sally 19. Get ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting through. Room here to run. Past the 20. Touchdown. Kevin Coleman, 49 yards. And his guys are going to take the lead. Well, at this stage in the fourth, I thought they might work it down the field a little differently, but they go with the run. Hole opens up, and he's gone.
Well, we mind melding there because you're thinking differently, meaning throwing the ball, right?
Yeah.
I'm with you. With that time on the clock, I thought the ball would be in the air on just about every play. And they came back and got him with a surprise because I think the defense was planning for that as well. That took some fortitude as a play caller. Give him high marks for making it happen.
And out come the Chiefs now. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Buying time to his left. A right side catch by Crabtree. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. So the D-line's going to spread out.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good.
And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for two. Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. It's caught, locked it. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part one of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick. So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. They'll come out in the pistol. This is Coleman. And that play will go And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. Throwing now is Palmer. Finding time. Now he's forced out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. He's got it at the 15. So the flag is for the very rare illegal forward pass penalty.
Not often that a quarterback forgets where the line of scrimmage is. They have an innate sense about it. On this play, the quarterback did.
Here's Jacob Shum now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. And the gadget package there won't do much for him. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.